I've always tried to live quietly and unnoticeably. An ordinary life, an ordinary apartment in a small American town, work in the library, evenings with a book and a cup of tea. No wild parties, no scandals, no reasons for gossip. But silence apparently attracts trouble like a magnet. It all started with minor troubles. A missing newspaper, rearranged pots of flowers on the balcony, strange rustling outside the door. At first, I thought it was the kids messing around, then I chalked it up to my own inattention. But the feeling of anxiety grew every day. It seemed like someone was constantly watching me. My neighbor, Karen, a middle-aged woman with a deliberately perfect hairstyle and sharp eyes, always made me uncomfortable. She was the kind of person who knows everything and about everything, who pokes her nose into other people's business under the guise of caring and benevolence. We greeted each other when we met, exchanged routine phrases about the weather, but I always felt some hidden negativity on her part. One morning, my friend, Sarah, called me. "Emily, did you see that?" "What is it?" she asked excitedly. "What did you see? What happened?" I tensed, sensing something was wrong. "Look at YouTube. There's a channel called Psychopath from House 3B. There's a video of you." I felt cold. I quickly opened YouTube and typed the channel's name into the search engine. The results stunned me. There were indeed videos taken, apparently with a hidden camera, in my apartment. A video of me cooking breakfast, reading a book, watering flowers. By themselves, these videos would be harmless, if not for one, but they were mounted in such a way as to expose me in the most unsightly light. There was a scene in one video where I'm talking to myself, a common practice when I'm thinking about the plot of a book or solving a problem. This fragment was accompanied by ominous music and captions, "Paranoid thinking." A wake-up call for the neighbors. In another video, I accidentally dropped a cup and the sound of the broken dishes was amplified and repeated several times, creating a hysterical effect. The caption read, "Uncontrollable outbursts of anger. It's dangerous for others." I was in shock. Who would do such a thing? Who so cruelly and senselessly decided to ruin my life? I watched all the videos several times, trying to find at least some clue that would help me figure out the attacker. And then it dawned on me. The shooting angle, camera location. Everything pointed to the fact that the video was shot from the apartment opposite from Karen's apartment. I called Sarah and shared my suspicions. "Emily, this is terrible. You have to do something. This is already going beyond simple hooliganism." "I know, Sarah, but what can I do? I don't have any proof." "Try talking to her. Maybe she'll confess." "Talk to Karen? Are you serious? She hates me." "Well, what else can I do? You can't just sit around and wait for her to drive you crazy." I reluctantly agreed. I knew Sarah was right. It was necessary to act. Summoning all my courage, I knocked on the door of Karen's apartment. She didn't open it right away, as if she was deliberately stalling for time. There was a look of feigned surprise on her face. "Emily? Something happened." "What is it?" she asked in an unctuous voice. "Karen, we need to talk." I tried to speak calmly, but everything inside me was boiling with anger. "About what?" She continued to pretend to be an innocent lamb. "About the YouTube video. About the channel Psychopath from House 3B. Karen's face twitched slightly. She lost her composure for a moment, but quickly regained her composure. "I don't understand what you're talking about," she replied with forced indifference. "Don't pretend. I know it's you. I saw the angles of the shooting, the location of the camera. Everything points to your apartment." Karen laughed. "It's loud and out of tune. You're completely crazy. Why would I do that? Don't I have anything else to do? I don't know why. Maybe you just like to ruin people's lives. Maybe you're jealous. It doesn't matter. The important thing is that you have to stop this immediately. Otherwise what? Are you going to report it to the police? Good luck. You don't have any proof." She smiled predatorily. I knew she was right. I really didn't have any proof. But I wasn't going to give up. "I do not know how I will do it, but I will prove your guilt. And you will answer for your actions." I said it in a firm voice, looking her straight in the eye. Karen slammed the door in my face. I stood in the hallway, trembling with rage and powerlessness. What should I do? How to prove her guilt? I went back to my apartment and called Sarah. I told her about my conversation with Karen. "I knew she wouldn't admit it," Sarah said. "We need to look for other ways. Should we try to contact the police? At least in order to record the fact of harassment." "I think it's a good idea. I'm going to the police station tomorrow." The next day, I went to the police station. They listened to me there, but as expected, they said they couldn't do anything without direct evidence. They suggested that I file a harassment complaint, but warned me that it was unlikely to help stop Karen. I felt completely powerless. Karen seemed to triumph over my helplessness. YouTube videos continued to appear and the number of views and comments grew. People believed in what they saw, and I turned into a real madwoman in the eyes of the whole house. One evening, I received a message from an unknown number. There was a link to one of the videos on the channel Psychopath from House 3B. A comment was left under the video. "I know who's doing this. Contact me." I didn't know if I should trust this message. It could have been a trap set by Karen herself, but I had no other choice. I replied to the message and asked him to tell me what he knows. A few minutes later, I received a reply. It turned out that it was a neighbor from another building, a young guy named Mark. He told me that he had seen Karen install a camera on her balcony several times and point it towards my apartment. He also saw her mounting something on her computer. I have hope. Mark was my witness. With his help, I could prove Karen's guilt. I went to the police again, this time with Mark. He testified, confirming my suspicions. The police, having seen a real witness, began an investigation. A few days later, Karen's apartment was searched. They found on her computer all the videos that were published on the channel Psychopath from House 3B, as well as original recordings proving the fact of editing and defamation. Karen was arrested. She was charged with harassment, defamation, and violation of privacy. When I found out about it, I felt a huge relief. Justice has been done. I could finally breathe freely. It would seem that the story is over, but that was just the beginning. After Karen's arrest, the whole truth about her crimes became known throughout the house. The neighbors who had previously believed her slander now looked at her with contempt. Her reputation was destroyed overnight. But the most interesting thing began when the motives of her actions were revealed. It turned out that Karen had long been jealous of me. She thought I was living too quiet and peaceful a life, that I didn't deserve my happiness. She also suspected that I was dating her ex-husband, which of course was complete nonsense. Envy and jealousy poisoned her soul and drove her to commit a crime. But karma, as you know, exists. After Karen's arrest, her life turned into a real nightmare. She was fired from her job, and her friends and acquaintances turned away from her. She was left alone, despised, and hated by everyone. One night, I heard loud crying from her apartment. I went to the door and listened. Karen sobbed and screamed, cursing her life. I could gloat. I could enjoy her suffering. But instead, I felt sorry. I understood that she had punished herself. Her hatred and envy destroyed not only my life, but also her own. I knocked on the door. Karen didn't open it right away. Her face was swollen from crying, and her eyes were red. "What do you need?" "What is it?" she asked in a hoarse voice. "I just wanted to say that I'm sorry," I replied. "Sorry? Do you feel sorry for me? After everything I've done?" She chuckled. "Yeah, I'm sorry that you let hatred and envy get to you. I'm sorry that you ruined your life. I hope you can forgive yourself someday." I turned around and left. I do not know what Karen thought after my words, but I knew that I had done everything I could. I didn't let hate poison my soul. I chose forgiveness and compassion. This story has taught me a lot. I realized that a quiet and peaceful life is not always synonymous with happiness. That envy and hatred can destroy not only someone else's life, but also the life of the one who experiences them. And that forgiveness and compassion are the most important things in the world. A few months later, Karen was released from prison. She left our city and started a new life in another state. I never saw her again, but I will always remember this story. The story of how envy and slander almost ruined my life, and about how kindness and forgiveness helped me to survive and win.